Now at 9, Schreiber Foods halts its multi-million-dollar Carthage expansion project.
Students in Neosho learn about DNA through a simple experiment using strawberries. I'm Samantha Walker, and I'll have that story coming up.
Massive crowds in Vatican City as people from around the world gather to say goodbye to Pope Francis. I'm Lauren Green. I'll have more on this story coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The Missouri Dental Board files a petition to pull the license of a Joplin dentist following a drug bust. This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. The board says the move comes following the arrest of Dr. John H. Joseph for suspected involvement in a drug deal. The petition states the board believes Joseph presents a serious danger to the health, safety, or welfare to patients. If granted, Joseph will no longer be able to practice dentistry. You can read a copy of the full petition on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Now, authorities arrested Joseph in March after an officer witnessed him and 2 others apparently engaging in a drug deal. A search of Joseph and his vehicle turned up more than 12 grams of fentanyl. Authorities say further investigation indicated Joseph had been traveling to Tulsa, where he would purchase fentanyl to deliver to the Joplin area. Authorities charged Joseph with trafficking drugs in the first degree and unlawful use of a weapon. Schreiber Foods puts the company's expansion plans in Carthage on hold. KOAM's Melissa Alexis spoke to the CEO of the Carthage Economic Development Corporation to find out more about the decision.
Jeff Meredith is the CEO of the Carthage Economic Development Corporation, and he says he received notice that Schreiber Foods is putting their expansion in Carthage on hold last week.
The critical individuals at the city and the local utility know so that they could potentially pause or delay any of major purchases they were planning to do as part of that project themselves.
Schreiber Foods announced their expansion in Carthage in December. The project is expected to bring over 100 jobs and boost economic development in Carthage, something the mayor of Carthage welcomes.
Carthage has a long history of being very supportive of industries coming into town and staying in town for a long time. We sit strategically, essentially at the crossroads of I-49 and I-44.
Schreiber Foods is already a huge partner here in Carthage, Missouri. I believe they have approximately 1,500 employees at I want to say 4 facilities here in Carthage. So they're a great community partner today. Now, obviously, the additional growth of somewhere between 150 and 300 jobs would be huge for Carthage, Missouri.
Meredith says Schreiber Foods cited uncertain economic conditions as the reason for pausing expansion.
Given some of the uncertain economic conditions that we all see on a daily basis, it's not surprising. Interest rates are fluctuating regularly, the stock market's fluctuating regularly. And just from a national perspective, I've seen that other major corporations are also having pauses.
Both the mayor of Carthage and the CEO of the Carthage Economic Development Corporation remain optimistic that the project will eventually resume.
It was disappointing for us, but ultimately, again, this is a pause. They didn't say they're not looking at Carthage, they're not doing any of those things. And frankly, given some of the uncertain economic conditions that we all see on a daily basis, it's not surprising.
Reporting in Carthage, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
The expansion would include construction of a new production facility of more than 100,000 square feet. Chief Meteorologist Doug Eddy joins us now with a first look at weather.
Well, it turned out to be a nice Wednesday for us today. We did get some pop-up thunderstorms during the late afternoon into the evening hours. Most of these are gone, so this means that it's going to be a pretty quiet night. Bigger thunderstorms out to our west. They will not make it here as we go through the overnight hours, but warm once again for us today. 81 for a high, average high 71 degrees. Let's go outside, 70 in Joplin. Pittsburgh is sitting at 72 degrees. And again, tonight's going to be calm. Not much going on, but we get scattered thunderstorms right back in as we go into late Friday, and then a band of showers and thunderstorms start to work in on Friday morning. So we could see some decent amounts of rain with some of these bands that are going to be setting up over the next couple days. We're going to break it all down for you here in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. The Crawford County Health Department held an event today for future child care providers. The orientation session provided information for those interested in becoming a licensed child care provider in Crawford and Bourbon counties. The session covered information on the regulations pertaining to establishing a legal daycare service, specifically in-home daycare and non-residential daycare.
Because whenever you are licensed with the state, that means that you have had an extensive background check, and fingerprinting along with everybody in the home has also gone through that process. Being a licensed provider, you are required to have certain health and safety classes, safe sleep classes, first aid and CPR classes, as well as health and nutrition classes.
The Crawford County Health Department provides health services with special emphasis on the prevention of disease and the education of people in the department's care. Elementary students in Neosho get a chance to learn about DNA today thanks to the help of a Kansas City University professor. He taught the lesson in a hands-on approach using a popular fruit. KOAM's Samantha Walker joined the learners as they experimented.
Deoxyribonucleic acid. What? Who can say that again? Don't worry about it.
You may have learned about DNA with the textbook, but how about a strawberry? That fruit is the exact tool Dr. Joseph Williams with Kansas City University uses to help teach the complex topic to students.
We're going to extract DNA from living or recently picked strawberry fruit in a very similar way that we extract DNA from human cells if a genetic test was ever ordered by a physician in a research laboratory.
Students at Rise Elementary in Neosho had the hands-on experience participating in an experiment, learning how to isolate DNA from the fruit using household items. It's a process similar to what researchers and doctors might do every day.
The best part about this with the kids is their exploration and their curiosity. And that same skill is what we're trying to enhance and what we're trying to encourage at the medical school level as well too. It's not a different skill. It's something that translates up and down the continuum of education.
With dozens of students excitedly extracting DNA all on their own, the experiment is inspiring the next generation of scientists and learners.
It was awesome. Science is important to learn because it teaches you a lot of stuff about the earth.
Dr. Williams says he hopes students learn to be curious, ask good questions, and learn how science can relate to everyday life.
When we hear about physicians who end up in the workplace in our communities now, oftentimes that passion starts at a really young age. And the best physicians are the same ones that are curious, they're compassionate, and through the lens of science we can explore many of those same things. We want to try to foster that the best we can.
Reporting in Neosho, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Well, Dr. Williams has taught young learners all around the area. He says it's some of his favorite work. Well, coming up, baby bonuses.
Get paid to have a baby? The Trump administration is considering giving out baby bonuses to promote parenthood. I'm Alexandria Hoff in Washington. We've got the details coming up.
And later, are dandelions overtaking your yard? If you can't beat them, join them. We look at the benefits of the little yellow flowers. Plans are now in the works at the White House to incentivize more women to have children. Alexandria Hoff has the details.
The Trump administration is working on ways to inspire the next baby boom and is reportedly considering giving out cash to sweeten the deal. Earlier this week, the New York Times reported a list of proposals from the White House, including giving every American mother a baby bonus of $5,000 after delivery and reserving 30% of scholarships for the Fulbright program for applicants who are married or have children. Trump indicated his support from the Oval Office.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
These plans align with a push from the right to bring back family values and combat the falling fertility rate, which has been dropping since 2008.
Let me say very simply, I want more babies in the United States of America. It is the task of our government to make it easier for young moms and dads to afford to have kids, to bring them into the world, and to welcome them as the blessings that we know they are.
This is worrying because it's like, well, if something doesn't happen, humanity is going to disappear. So it's I think very important to have kids.
But many say $5,000 would barely make a dent in the cost of raising a child.
Some estimates put the average cost of raising a child in America at $23,000. By the time that child is 18, that's $414,000, not accounting for inflation or the cost of college tuition.
As of 2024, the U.S. ranks 145 out of 228 countries in birth rate. In Washington, Alexandria Hoff, Fox News.
Well, Doug is next with a complete look at your forecast, and later the pause on student loan payments ends.
If it's been a while since you've paid your student loans, you could soon get sent to collections. I'm Rebecca Castor in Washington with what borrowers need to know about the Trump administration resuming payments coming up.
Cowboy up for Wild West the Arts.
Well, it turned out to be a great Wednesday for us today. Again, temperatures right around 80 degrees during the afternoon, which, hey, we'll definitely take. Looks good right now. Great shot of our Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Indigo this isn't Indigo. What am I talking about? This is our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. We are looking at downtown Joplin. Looks pretty good. All right, temperatures right now, upper 60s to lower 70s. Again tonight, if you want to leave the windows open, you can do it. Temperatures will only drop back near 60. Later on tonight, we'll look good, 70 degrees. Easterly winds are light across the region. Through the night, we slide back near 60, back to 70 by 10 a.m. Had some hit-and-miss storms earlier this evening. Those are gone, so nothing out there now. Pretty quiet, just ground clutter on the radar for the next several hours. Heading west, though, we have some thunderstorms central western Kansas. This is where any severe weather mainly is going to stay as we go through the rest of the night into the early morning hours on Thursday. We do have these weak little upper level waves kicking in, and in return this will give us chances for showers and thunderstorms as we go through the next couple days, but no big organized storm systems, at least for the next few days, affecting us. Pretty quiet tonight, back near 60. A lot of mid, a lot of upper level clouds through the morning hours. By noon, we should be into the mid 70s. Look at some thunderstorms building out toward the west. A few of these guys could pack a little bit of a punch. Some small hail, most likely staying just below severe limits. Can't rule out a random severe thunderstorm warning, but scattered thunderstorms kind of rotating through as we go through the evening hours. Then we kind of focus our attention on early Friday morning. Here, 6:30 in the morning, batch of thunderstorms start to head toward us. And again, these guys could be a little beefier as well as we go into Friday morning. A band of showers and thunderstorms dropping through. And then it looks like Friday afternoon looks pretty good. But because we got all the rain this past week and the ground's very saturated, so any rain that we do get could run off, causing a little bit of flash flooding if it comes down at a heavy enough clip. 60 in the morning, 73 by noon, high temp, 77. We're still watching the yellow kidney out there as we head into next week. So at least a better chance for organized severe weather as we head into late Monday night and Tuesday of next week. Until then, yeah, we could get some random severe thunderstorm warnings, but not any big severe weather outbreaks. Even on the weekend, a few showers mainly to our south, but I actually think most of the weekend is going to shape up pretty good. 77 on your Thursday, 75 on Friday, 71 Saturday. We have chances for at least some scattered showers somewhere in the viewing area each and every day as we go through about the next week. But again, the better chances Friday morning and next week.
Okay. All right. Random storm, pop-up storms.
You got it.
Just something to keep our eye on, you know?
You bet.
All right. Thanks, Doug. Well, our spring rains have brought one thing in plenty, dandelions. And just one dandelion can produce hundreds more, and the seeds can travel miles away with just one breeze. Now, the wind makes their blooms hard to control. They also have a deep root system that breaks up densely packed soil, so you need a special garden tool to cut that out to prevent new growth. But by leaving the flowers be, you are feeding our pollinators early on.
We will have early emerging bees, and they need food to eat, and dandelions, clover, and some of those things are often some of the only things that will be in bloom for them to feed on. So they're important for our native bee population as well.
So if you can't beat these wild herbs, join them. But if you really can't stand the sight of dandelions but want to help honeybees, choose native flowering plants to plant instead. Coming up, Elon Musk returns to Tesla.
The world's richest man is returning to lead his company after Tesla's earnings missed estimates. What's next for Doge and what's next for Tesla? I'll have more on that after the break.
Enter the VitaNovaVillageCars.com.
Elon Musk is set to scale back his work at Doge beginning next month to focus more on his car company, Tesla. Fox Business correspondent Kelly Sabiri is at a Tesla dealership in Chicago with more on the company's quarter and future outlook.
Elon Musk is saying he will focus more on Tesla and start dialing back his work with the Department of Government Efficiency starting next month. As a special government employee, he cannot work more than 130 days a year, even if he's unpaid. Musk appears to be spreading out the time he has left.
I'll continue to spend, a day or two per week on government matters for as long as the president would like me to do so, and as long as it is useful. But starting next month, I'll be allocating far more of my time to Tesla.
We also learned total auto revenue is down 20% and net income for the company is down 71% year over year. While Tesla's stock has taken a hit since the year began, it's still up since this time last year. Global protests have rocked Tesla dealerships across the country since Musk took the position with Doge. Meanwhile, investors received updates on several highly anticipated Tesla products. Musk indicated that the rollout of unsupervised full self-driving, a feature previously set to launch only in Texas and California, will now debut in several cities later this year.
Can you go to sleep in your car and wake up at your destination? And I'm confident that will be available in many cities in the U.S. by the end of this year.
Tesla reports that their robo-taxi, an autonomous ride-share service, is on track to launch in Austin, Texas by June. The Optimus, or Tesla humanoid robot, already being used in factories, will be deployed by the thousands by the end of the year, according to Musk.
So you can have your own personal R2-D2 C-3PO.
And he added that he hopes to roll out the robots by the millions within 5 years. In Chicago, Kelly Saberi, Fox Business.
As we near the 100th anniversary of Route 66, a Missouri city is selected to host the national kickoff. We'll have the details next. Springfield, Missouri is selected to host the national kickoff of America's Route 66 Centennial celebration next year. April 30th, 2026 is the anniversary of when a telegram was sent from downtown Springfield to Washington, D.C., requesting the new transcontinental road be named Route 66. The Missouri Route 66 Centennial Commission is preparing cities across Missouri for the celebration. There'll be several events and activities with Missourians encouraged to get involved. The commission says Missouri is investing more than $1 million in these events and tourist attractions.
Of all the applications we received, Springfield not only stood out because of the quality and the variety of events it was going to incorporate into a national kickoff, but it just had that wonderful connection to the birthplace of the road, and that just elevated it, and that's why we picked it.
A kickoff concert featuring an unannounced A-lister will be held in Springfield's historic Shrine Mosque on the 20th. It'll be live streamed around the world with cut-ins from Route 66 cities across the country. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports is coming your way. Tributes continue to pour in for Pope Francis as the world prepares for this week's public viewing and Saturday's funeral in St. Peter's Square. And student loan payments are about to resume. What you need to know before it's too late.
Bang Theory, tonight at 10:30.
You're watching the 4 states' most watched news.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. The public viewing of Pope Francis in Rome's St. Peter's Basilica started this morning. And already the Vatican reports nearly 20,000 people have stopped to pay their respects. Lauren Green joins us in Rome for the latest.
Known as the People's Pope, thousands came together to say goodbye to Pope Francis as he lay in state inside St. Peter's Basilica. Many waiting in long lines for up to 5 hours for a chance to pray, mourn, and in a new modern ritual, snap a photo.
Very, very moving experience to see him so vulnerable after so long, being so unwell. The queuing was difficult, but kind of worth it in the end.
Laid out in red robes and clasping a rosary, Pope Francis was escorted into the basilica by a procession of solemn cardinals and Swiss guards. Unlike past popes, his simple wooden coffin was placed on a ramp facing the people. The setup is part of the Pope's final wishes, to be remembered as a simple pastor.
I came here to visit the Pope because he deserved it. A Pope like this is not easy to find.
As the Vatican begins 3 days of public mourning, behind the scenes, cardinals have begun meeting to discuss the upcoming conclave. The secret voting process to elect a new Pope is set to begin next month.
I think he was a great Pope, so I really hope that they'll vote someone else equally as compassionate back into the role.
In the midst of all this, Italian security forces keep watch. Police patrol streets, underground stations, and even the river running near St. Peter's Square. Security forces are using drones to help, preparing for any situation.
I believe that the security machine is ready, but experience tells us that until the last day, we have to be flexible.
Due to the massive turnout to see the Pope, the Vatican says it may keep the Basilica open past midnight until the public viewing ends. In Rome, Lauren Green, Fox News.
Well, Ocean County, New Jersey is now under a state of emergency as firefighters work to contain a massive wildfire. Fire officials say the blaze escalated to more than 10,000 acres and is only partially contained. Overnight efforts redirected the fire to a more forested area. The fast-moving fire threatened more than 1,300 structures at one point, forcing over 3,000 residents to evacuate. In less than 2 weeks, millions of people will feel a financial hit they haven't felt in years: student loan repayments. Fox's Rebecca Castor has more on what borrowers need to know.
It's time to have people be accountable again for their debts.
That's the directive from President Trump's education secretary. And starting May 5th, her department will resume student loan collections from more than 42 million borrowers, including those currently considered unable to make payments.
We have over 5 million people that are in default. And that means their credit scores are affected. So we'd like to help them get out of default, but at the same time, this is something they owe.
During his first term, Trump paused collections on defaulted student loans at the start of the pandemic. But he thinks former President Biden should have resumed them a long time ago.
This is unsustainable, unfair, and a huge liability for American taxpayers. Debt cannot be wiped away. It just ends up getting transferred to others.
Some Democrats are blasting the move on X. Congressman Ro Khanna saying restarting loan payments now will cause credit scores to plummet and risk millions of Americans' ability to participate in the economy. And Senator Elizabeth Warren says this decision is all about punishing student loan borrowers. People who don't resume payments risk having their tax refunds, pensions, and even wages garnished by the government. The Education Department says there are options for borrowers unable to make their loan payments. You can find more information on studentaid.gov. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Well, Doug is next with a complete look at your forecast, and later, fighting food insecurity.
Food insecurity has more than doubled in the 4 states. One local company wants to change that. I'm Lonnie Walton in Carthage. I'll have that story coming up.
Spring semi-annual match.
Well, of course, a nice Wednesday for us today, and it's turned out to be a pretty good evening after we got some scattered thunderstorms earlier this evening, some small hail across some portions that picked up the rain. I would say about 20 to 25% of us got rain, meaning percent of us, the viewing area, got rain throughout the evening hours. Looks pretty good right now, a great shot. Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex, upper 60s, lower 70s, will only drop back near 60. We're mainly dry the rest of the night if you want to keep the windows open. 70 easterly winds are light. right now. Through the night, 60 by 7 a.m. down to 59 for an overnight low. But pretty much any thunderstorms, these guys are gone, just ground clutter now. Stronger storms, central western Kansas down through parts of Oklahoma and Texas. Some severe weather, but most of this is going to stay to our west as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. Looking out toward the west, we have these weak little waves in the upper level flow, and that's what's kind of producing these little bands of showers and thunderstorms. And we're going to continue to see this as we go through the next couple days. All right, let's go through time. Near 60 by morning. Get some mid-upper level clouds as we go through the morning hours. Some thunderstorms kind of developing to our west. So here's about the noon hour. So we are going to have scattered thunderstorms again rolling in mid to late afternoon. Main threat with these, some gusts, some small hail, most likely staying below that severe limit. But of course, we'll keep our eyes on these scattered thunderstorms through the evening and then push out once we get into the overnight hours. Then we focus back to the northwest. Band of showers and thunderstorms try to roll in by Friday morning, and some of these could be a little beefier as well with some small hail and some gusty winds. And then it looks like Friday afternoon looks pretty good. Day planner on your Thursday, 60 to start, 73 by noon. High temp, 77 degrees. In the yellow, we have severe threat, higher severe threat, returning late Monday and Tuesday of next week. So we also want to keep our eyes on that as we go down the road. Let's look at the weekend. Rain mainly to our south. We could get a random shower on Saturday. On Sunday, a warm front lifts through, could get a random shower, but I would say 80 to 90% of the weekend looks dry. 80 to 90% of Monday. Also dry. Monday night, though, thunderstorms start to press in. These will have the chance to be strong to severe. And then again, as we get into Tuesday afternoon as well. All right, 77 on your Thursday, 75 on Friday. Let's go 71 on Saturday, 79 on Sunday. But we are going to have those hit and miss random storms over the next several days.
And pretty warm temperatures overall.
Yeah, temperatures look
finally
great.
Leave that heater off.
Yeah.
It's been confusing going up and down. All right, thanks, Doug. Well, the Girard Public Library was the scene for Conservation Day, an afternoon event featuring fun and education for area kids. Events included a soil drainage activity, charades, a pollution river activity, and, yeah, you heard it right, an edible soil activity.
It's really neat to see the kids pick up on new information, and by making it fun and incorporating games, it does help the kids retain that information better, and hopefully they find a way to help conserve and help our earth.
Well, the Crawford County Conservation District hosted the event. Well, coming up in sports, Pitt State and Missouri Southern men's golf compete at the MIAA Championship. Plus, Lamar High School football celebrates its 2024 state championship. John Dales has those stories and more up next.
Nominate your Fourth State Hero tip.
The championships are all great.
I go to Parsons Nazarene Church.
Ghetto Tacos teams up with Arvest Million Meals at the Carthage Fire Department today to host an event to combat food insecurity among students in the 4 states. With Missouri ranking 16th as worst in the nation for food insecurity, Lonnie Walton stopped by to see what one local company is doing about it.
I talked to the owner of Ghetto Taco. He says he once experienced food insecurities. Now he wants to make a change.
Honestly, I was homeless twice in my life.
Marcos Renterias is the owner of Ghetto Tacos. He says food insecurity is no stranger to him.
I know what it feels to be hungry. So that's kind of where I feel like, you know, part of my heart goes to this. So.
And he's not the only one. Kim Hoover works for the Carthage School District. She says a lot of things have changed when it comes to food insecurity in this area.
Our numbers since 2012, our numbers of kids that we feed has more than doubled.
Hoover says while students are in school, it's easy for them to get fed, but the weekend is the problem. That's why a percentage of items sold from Ghetto Tacos will stay in this community.
Weekly, we pack about 350 weekend food packs for students pre-K through 12th grade, and we send those home to students who have been identified as food insecure.
The way she gets this process done is through Arvis Million Meals, which helps raise money to fight food hunger in the 4 states. In Joplin alone, they support 11 different food banks. Scott Silvers from Arvis Bank says they take pride in their work.
These donations stay local in the community. They help our friends, our neighbors, everyone that we see from day to day.
Community members are proud to call Carthage home.
There is a really nice sense of community in this area, giving back.
It's an honor to see our local organizations.
Ghetto Tacos is not just about, you know, serving tacos. It's about the community coming together.
And if you didn't get the opportunity to participate in this process, leaders tell me there'll be more opportunities in Pittsburgh and Webb City next month. Reporting in Carthage, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Arvis says Arkansas ranks worst in the nation for food insecurity, and Oklahoma ranks 5th worst. Now, Kansas, on the other hand, does better than the national average. Arvis Million Meals will travel to other parts of the 4 states next month. You can support this cause online by going to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com, where we've provided a link to this story. Farmer Wants a Wife returns to Fox 14 this Thursday. Coming up, the farmers talk about involving their moms into the matchmaking mix, trusting their choices, and why family input is key in the search for love. The search for love continues on Fox's Farmer Wants a Wife, and this time the farmers' moms are stepping in to choose one woman they believe is the perfect match for their son. Fox's Ashley Dvorkin explains.
I wasn't expecting that.
Fox's Farmer Wants a Wife gets a maternal twist. Connections will be put to the test as each farmer's mom brings in a new lady for their son to meet.
That throws a bit of a wrench into it because the farmers want to please their moms, also trust their mom's input probably. And so that'll be interesting to watch how that unfolds.
How many kids would you want to have?
Oh, good question.
If the farmers see potential in their mother's pick, they can invite her back to the farm, meaning someone else might go home.
I definitely think my mom has my best interest in heart. I trust her. I think she's somebody that knows me better than I know myself at times, so I think she wouldn't do anything to put me in a bad situation.
Mother knows best. That goes back ages. I think my mom knows me very well and what I like and what I'm attracted to. So I think she definitely picked out a good choice. It's just tough when it comes in so late. You never know what can happen. But I think that was a good twist. I'm John.
I'm Juliana.
The farmers say family input is key to the process.
My parents have a great marriage. My brother and his wife do as well, and so I really, they know what's best for me usually, and so I really like to kind of get their input on what I'm going through and the type of girl, that I'm going to be with.
My family means a lot to me, and so does their opinion. I think more importantly than just my parents' opinion is my siblings, because we're very close. We confide in each other completely, and we're also very, very honest with each other, whether or not we like it or not.
Family's all we have, when it comes down to it.
Hey, we all we got.
In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
That's our time for tonight. Thank you for joining us. We're going to leave you with video of a black bear enjoying his morning bath at the Knoxville, Tennessee Zoo. He's having fun. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow.